here we are.
Okay, great.
We're good, and what an interesting generation here. So I guess before we dive into that, let's talk about DracKeN's situation. He already played one round. He got an important win against Yo. It feels like in a group that has Liereyy, Yo, and MBL, DracKeN just has to avoid the 3-0s against the big three, and then get like a 2-1, 3-0 against some of the other names. So I think the goal for him here is still just to get one win. He has Arena available as a home map. He also has Mongols, which is one of the best civilizations on Scandinavia here for game one. So as you said, Dave, and as we talked about, DracKeN has absolutely put himself in a good spot to be able to get a win or two against Liereyy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and his draft is really straightforward, right? It's super transparent what civs he's going to pick on which map. Arabia being the only question mark, maybe. But Scandinavia, Liereyy knew he was going to go into Mongols. Arena, he's definitely going to go into Portuguese unless he super mixes it up. And Mongols are really good here on Scandi. And you said the map generation is interesting. And it's interesting because DracKeN is right up against the water. Liereyy is a little bit further from the water, so he could maybe choose to go to DracKEN's side, but I think he's going to choose to go north. And also, if we look at like the gold situation for DracKeN, they're completely behind his base. So he's going to get all of this hunt in, 3 boars and all those ibex with Mongols, utilize that hunt bonus. And then he can maybe just even camp up and wall off, and he'll have 3 safe golds. It's kind of wild.
I have seen situations, though, where sometimes this is a trap. Like, if you've, it feels like the AoE gods always give this player a hole in their wall or something. So there's a part where they lose access to all 3 of their golds. But yeah, he should wall it up. I think the concern for him is actually going to be stone. He does have a neutral stone available towards the back, but his main stone and secondaries all rather forward. But, you know, speaking of DracKeN's strengths, which I think is important here because 95% of people who are watching just know DracKeN likes to play a lot of arena. He's super good build orders, which is why his drafts are so straightforward. And he's really good at focusing on water. So if I had to guess the strategy here when up against the Japanese, I think DracKeN's going to want to go to the other side, get some docks up, and go for some galleys or fire galleys against Lierey's fish.
Bro, Liereyy just found like the best dock spot ever.
Oh, that's so nice.
That village just going to have to hope that it doesn't sink into the ice. Like the weight of that dock.
Global warming.
Oh, man. That is right out there. Holy.
That's also extremely helpful as like a bit of a dock block later on. I think ships can actually sail on the ice, which would be around the Ville, which will get interesting. But still, players never want to venture past someone's dock because there's always a risk of a demo later on. And DracKeN can't find it.
DracKeN can't find it, even with a Mongol scout. He can't find it. Oh, dude, he's going to think that like Liereyy hasn't docked or something?
He might think that Lierey's on the other side, yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow. That dock is good in so many ways.
That's insane. I mean, if I'm him, if I'm DracKeN, that is, I probably wouldn't double back either. I would just check to see where his base is. No,
because it looks like ice. Like, no one's going to build out there.
Whoa, that's crazy. Well, you know, that would be good for Liereyy. Lierey's main gold is the safest can be in the back of his base, as well as some extra hunt. DracKeN's got more work for the extra hunt. That's, again, forward. So I think, like, in the early term, or, like, in Feudal Age and Castle Age, I think that gold's going to bode well here for Liereyy because it's so easy to defend it and just focus on water. But in the long run, having that other gold forward would be awkward. DracKeN's so confused, dude.
He's sending his scout back to the other shoreline.
Yeah.
And then he's going to think, oh, God, Lierey's just going for some land play or something against me. I should wall up like crazy right now. Or maybe I should go into military too. It's so weird.
I mean, I can understand the confusion here. All because of that dock. And I guess, like, this is a learning lesson for everybody that you can actually dock out there. Like, I'm sure Liereyy didn't, like, practice this. He just was like, can I dock out there? Oh, I can dock out there. That's nice. But he doesn't even know how helpful this has been for him right now.
I thought that was the type of ice you couldn't dock on. Because I know there is a type of ice that you can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
that looks like something that I wouldn't suspect the dock could fit on that. But
yeah, normally you can't build on that. You're right. Normally the ice that you're talking about for viewers is like the ice that has a bit more snow on it. You can sometimes build on. So anyways, Lierey's scout still going to need to be something he worries about. He sees villagers on golds. And so Lierey's probably thinking, funnily enough, is he docking me if I see the villagers on gold? But that's not happening at all. Liereyy was also going to make
DracKeN
shifts.
has to be like looking at this score from Liereyy, looking at the uptime, looking at the fact that he hasn't made a dock and thinking like, is he just going like land economy FC against me? He must be so confused what's happening.
Dude, I'm confused for him, and I can see everything. Like, I don't know what you do from here. I can fully understand the walling here. You just got to make sure you don't lose the scout if you're DracKeN. Oh, okay. He kills the scout from Liereyy.
Nice.
Now Liereyy might be confused because Liereyy saw the gold. So Lierey's actually already made a fire galley in the north. Interesting.
DracKeN just now going for a barracks. He's going for a fire galley out of his own dock, and he's going to patrol along the shoreline. He does see the villager from Liereyy. He can't fight it, but he did see the villager. I wonder if he noticed that.
Yeah, I like how he didn't even stick around there, right? I'm pretty sure he spotted it because he changed direction. And so the fire galley's on the way. And that's actually good for DracKeN because he wanted a way to spend his gold. He might do archers as well, but I like that. The only thing I don't like is how he can't take any of that hunt. It feels like a lot of players would take the risk and just stay out there for now because there's not a lot of army, but we'll see.
He is getting value with the scout, though. He decided not to push that early. Remember, he did have, like, you do have 3 boars on Scandinavia, right? So it's not like he needed it super early and needed to keep pushing. But yeah, it would be ideal for him to be pushing in those deer towards his TC or making a mill out there or whatever. But right now, he's still got some pigs left over. Still has this fishing economy. Is going to find the villager in the north, thinking about building a dock. Can't attack that with the scout, but he has identified where the dock is in the east.
I like that.
DracKeN's off to still a fairly decent start here.
Yeah, I mean, the double range is definitely something you wouldn't see the majority of players in Platinum do. It's heavy commitment into Feudal Age when they're going to want to compete more for water than anything in most cases. But that could allow him to kill Lierey's archers and then send a villager over to the left to compete for the fish. As DracKeN scout, I'm just laughing at this thing. He still can't see the original dock. He still must be so confused. Like, he still thinks... He could think that Lierey's docking for the first time now. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He might be thinking, like, dude, is there fish in the corner of my own lake? Like,
yeah, I know.
What is going on?
I mean, saying all of this, I think Lierey's got to be a little uncertain on what's happening here, too. But it's certainly more predictable. I think currently he's thinking DracKeN could be fast castle. So Lierey's awareness is going to have to be on point here when the archers show up. Because Liereyy hasn't gone for fletching. He's just planning about Castle Age. I do like how he's shooting the ibex there.
Yeah, I love that. Shooting those ibex. That is so much food that DracKeN can stretch out for once he takes this back. DracKeN is sneaking around with the archers. There's still an opportunity to get into Lierey's base if he's kind of, you know, if he's got a big ego, he could walk right into that TC. He's into taking risks.
Yeah, I mean, Liereyy now can't see the range. He sees the barracks. I'd still be thinking my opponent's fast castle if I'm Liereyy. Lierey's got a juicy demo he's waiting for, yeah.
Yeah, he's got 2 fire galleys in there, and he's got a 3rd one on the way. He will win the water here, and I don't think DracKeN's... Oh, DracKeN is still investing. Okay. That's nice from him.
It's just always awkward. I think in this situation, you might even want to pull away from the dock if you're DracKeN. But let's see what these archers do. Will be an awkward moment.
Get in the back there. Yeah, there's only 2 vills under that TC. If these get into the wood line back there, if he's got good micro, he can snipe down some vills, but he lets him know he's there. He takes the villager for free. Does he run under this town center? Does he run under the TC?
Yes.
It's these 2 villagers only.
Has Liereyy noticed this? Hello? Liereyy?
DracKeN's going in. Oh. He's going in. He's going in, dude. He's going in.
Oh, he should be able to house wall this, though. Let's see if he realizes there's a gap between those 2 trees. There, now the villager's gone through it.
Okay. Still
annoying, right? It's still getting more value than DracKeN was maybe expecting to get. He was certainly hoping for more value.
Oh, DracKeN lost his entire navy on his pawn, though. Oh, and Lierey's up to the Castle Age.
That hurts so much.
Yep.
I think you would always prefer Lierey's position, having 5 or 6 fishing ships, 7 now, and being in Castle Age faster. Sneaky move there from Liereyy. You could tell exactly what was happening for DracKeN and for Liereyy there, because Liereyy was late to react, and then DracKeN was paying full attention to the archers, so clearly the navy mattered there.
Liereyy can cut off the golds too, or 2 of the golds from the water as well if he clears up that dock. Very valuable for him. Liereyy also with 7 fishing ships right now versus soon to be none from DracKeN.
Yep.
DracKeN is, I mean, denying a market.
That's kind of good. And he's now using his own market. Like, clearly now DracKeN's going to know that he's behind. So he sells the stone. I mean, this is not how DracKeN would have wanted this game to go. So he's just going to YOLO. And I don't blame him too much. Liereyy, though, in the position with the fishing ships that he would have wanted.
Oh!
Ooh.
Liereyy coming out here for stone, but he's following up with some archers from behind. So even if DracKeN kind of denies this for the time being, there are weak villagers there.
Yeah,
though.
and there's
He
still
sees
the
them.
other
Oh my
archers
God.
there. What is he thinking
Liereyy.
here? This is a very weird decision. Now he runs back out, which makes sense, I guess. But a little bit of a donation there as he tosses away
DracKeN
Eco.
will take that.
Yeah.
4 villagers he threw away there? I think so.
I think it was 4, yeah. And now he also had to bring the archers home.
And
So.
DracKeN manages to clear up 1 crossbow. Does he get a second one here? Good micro, honestly, from DracKeN.
Let's go.
Oh my God, bro.
Clown
Oh
micro.
my God, is he going to win this?
Well, it's possible.
Oh my God, what a
There's more
trade.
archers on the way. There's more
won it.
on the way.
He won it.
Come on. Dude, like, Liereyy is giving DracKeN an opportunity here.
Oh my God.
Remember, this is Lierey's first set in this event. And if there's ever an opportunity, this would be it. And DracKeN has a lot to prove after getting promoted and knows that he's seen as an underdog. Liereyy just tossing away Eco. Still no second town center. And Dave, most importantly, Lierey's still not pushing. He hasn't used Castle Age at all with the Siege Workshop. That said, DracKeN, I mean, how ambitious can you be with that stable?
Oh boy. Time for some time to step it up, I guess.
I just love he started to run back and said this isn't a good idea. And then he's like, wait,
no.
Liereyy hasn't noticed.
Oh no. Okay, it goes up. At least it goes up.
Yep.
At least it goes up.
He's going to step it
Villagers
up all right. Here come those step lancers.
living on a prayer.
I think the word to describe this game as so far is sloppy.
Sloppy.
Certainly
I
a
was just
dip
about
in
to say,
quality
yeah.
compared to the Sebastian Viper series. And I'm sure it will improve from these guys as they get more of a feel for the series.
I mean, Liereyy still has more eco units because he's got the fishing ships working this entire time. DracKeN is completely given up on his own pond. I'd actually like to see a monastery from DracKeN.
Oh yeah,
Go
there
for a
you go.
monk to convert the fires, and then grab the relics if you can, if you see any of them.
You know what would be so devastating to Liereyy is if DracKeN just runs right by the town center and into the back of the eco there.
Yep.
Also, is there a hole? Liereyy, there's a hole because he wanted to send something to the right earlier. Unless there's a tree I'm missing.
No, there's a tree. There's a tree. There's a tree.
Okay. Oh,
I
yeah,
selected
there
a
is
tree
one.
for a second.
Yep.
There's a tree behind there.
All right, well, that makes more sense. Resources collected. Liereyy should have a pretty sizable lead just because of the fishing ships, but he lost a lot of villagers and was delayed on the town center. As DracKeN's now looking to get in with the Step Lancers, and he was in, actually. He could have gone in, but it's probably
He's
good
in,
that he
and now he's
didn't.
out.
Yeah.
Yep. And Liereyy goes for a TC on the left side. 1 Vil TC. I like that. It's so out there that it's safe.
Yep, true.
Security through obscurity. And DracKeN goes for a second C. Oh, bro. He's going in. He's 1 TCing this. 1 TC Step Lancer Siege play.
I like it.
Yep.
I mean,
Lierey's going on to the 3rd TC already, so DracKeN might be able to punish him here.
Yo completely destroyed DracKeN on their first game, which was Cross, and DracKeN almost brought it back with an all-in monk play. So DracKeN's no stranger to the all-ins. I'm curious on if Liereyy can defend here, because the number one thing you're going to want is, well, you're going to want a lot of things, but you're going to want more monks, and you're going to want redemption if you're Liereyy, so there's the second monastery. But redemption needs to come in fast, and yeah, there is that as well. Very well played from Liereyy in this situation.
Okay. Still double Siege Workshop.
Could be crazy.
If you keep up production, he's only producing out of 1, though.
Yeah, maybe a little ambitious. You don't have the eco balance you normally have. DracKeN now housed, and in his mind, he knows he's behind, so he has to kill all the time. I don't think he wants villager kills. He wants army kills here.
That's like a rhyme. In his mind, he knows he's behind. He's got to kill all the time.
Trying to
And
think
then
of
he'll be
something.
fine.
There we go. Okay, I was gonna say someone's got to think of something, and good job there from DracKeN to actually delete that mango. He won't be happy to realize his opponent now has redemption, though. That's much earlier than he was expecting it.
He's gearing up to attack the other TC on the left side.
Okay.
And that, I mean, like, Liereyy already has, like, some severe trauma from this area on the map. Honestly. Like, Lierey's already been through the ringer over here, and he's just going to lose some more villagers, it looks like. Or the TC. Perfect spot to set up on the hill. Third Mangonel on the way. Lierey's got to shift the monks over, and Lierey's actually... He thought about sending the crossbows, I think, to the right.
He did.
But he's now decided that maybe that isn't the best idea in the world.
It's going to be really awkward for DracKeN here, though, because it's so tight of a choke point. And he might not even be able to pull back properly.
Oh, Lierey's getting really close with those monks. He got close to that. The Mangonels couldn't really pull back. And now he's
got two.
Step Lancers. He got two. He got two Mangonels. He loses the third Mangonel on the way. The Mangonels go down, but still Liereyy getting serious value.
Yeah, that was impressive. Yeah, also he saved the monks, which was the most important part there. They're currently hiding out in the town center, so Lierey's crossbows can now move out with confidence, and his monks are just right back out and ready for more conversions. Liereyy just needs to get a castle up in a safe position. I'm not sure exactly where he'll want it, but I think even between the two town centers he has here at his main base would be fine. We'll stop this push from getting out of hand.
Also, just like a little wall on that hill might be nice.
Yeah, just a house maybe.
Really
yeah.
Or just even a stone wall in the middle of the hill. You don't even need to close it off. Just put it in the middle. It means you can't push.
That feels like
it would actually make it way worse for DracKeN.
It feels like that's something as we see the monks come in here to get more conversions. I don't know how you stop this, by the way. Like, I think the monks could have continued to move forward there. But that thing you mentioned there comes from a decade plus of a scenario experience where there's very specific like gaps and openings where you can do cheesy stuff like that. All right, here we go. The monks usually can take 2 hits here, but in that case, in that situation, there were so many Mangonels. There's just 2 men siege there.
Oh, he's going to get this conversion. Delete it, delete it, delete it, delete it. He doesn't get it.
Oh my God, there's a chance.
The longest conversion in human history. There is a chance. The production buildings are going down. Liereyy has to YOLO down a castle here. He's blocking it with his crossbow. DracKeN killing his own Mangonels in his haste to get inside.
He's only going to go for the TC here because that's all he sees, and it's still such an awkward choke point, and surely Lierey's going to get 1. He just needs to get 1 or 2 here.
He hopped inside the TC with the monk. He does get 1, and now the biggest shot of all time. Not quite.
Not quite, but it all adds up, right? The castle goes up. Mangonels get converted. Mangonels get value, and it all falls apart for DracKeN.
Oh, it's all falling apart. He was coming for the forward castle, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he needed to have that castle go up before Lierey's. He's been on the clock for a while. 23 on gold, 7 on food. So clearly he didn't have imp in his mind. And
this is so ugly. Now the Villa's blocking the Mangonel too.
Oh,
Stop helping my opponent.
Did DracKeN get Atonement with Mongols?
He did. He did. He did. He did. I didn't even know they had it.
I didn't either. Look at him drop the castle, dude, in that choke point, because that's the only spot he can fit it.
Yup.
Oh, well, okay. Well, DracKeN calls it. I think he knew for a while now that this was over. I will say, you know, like, I think DracKeN was just outclassed by that dock, because I think his original strategy was to compete on water, and he just...
Bro, you could tell he was so confused.
Yeah, he didn't know what to do because of the dog position. That's crazy.
Yeah, but still, I mean... A great engagement for him with the archers. Very sloppy from Liereyy to go out for that. I think he knew the archers were looping around there too. That's why he was bringing his crossbows that way before they even got there. And he still goes for that TC. He loses, what, 5 villagers and all of his crossbows to an archer army?
Yeah.
But he's able to recover. DracKeN can't quite get the push going because Liereyy has control over the water. And yeah, Liereyy just played better.
Yeah, I mean, normally you see a lot more aggressive water play from the player who's faster to feudal. That was only a conversation for Liereyy. He was the one being aggressive on water. He was the one who killed fish. And DracKeN didn't go into this thinking all in Step Lancers and Siege. He just had to do it because he knew he would have been so far behind. But again, like, one of those things that I think you can cut him some slack for because of that crazy dock position from Liereyy. Not only could Mongols not find it, with their scouting bonus. But feudal age Mongols couldn't see that thing.
Yeah.
That's not something you see every day. So GG.
That thing was out there on the ice. That thing was in Svalbard. Like, that was way at it. That wasn't even in Scandinavia anymore.
Well, I feel like everyone should do that then. Like, I think every player should build it as far out as possible.
I didn't even know you could build it there. I'm wondering if that's like a change on something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
Usually you need a shoreline. You can't just put it on ice. But
yeah, I think anywhere there's a
different type of
shorefish, you might be able to do it. Like, I don't know if those things are necessarily
Oh,
tied.
true. Maybe. I don't know.
But anyways, the game classified it as a shoreline. Liereyy took advantage of it. DracKeN didn't see it. Very quick and painful game one. It'll be an interesting discussion here as we enter game two. Can DracKeN get another win? Again, just to restate what I had said before, he did end up getting a win against Yo on a closed map. But that's kind of what he's known for. This is his bread and butter. With Portuguese and the new changes recently, Dave, I would expect some craziness. And by the way, what are we doing with colors now? Same thing?
Liereyy is red and DracKeN is blue.
Okay. You were right. He changed his color.
Liereyy he starts at 3, and then he goes 4, 5, 6. He never goes 7 or 8, though, I don't think.
Yeah.
He goes back to 3.
Just Liereyy things. But, okay, so when I think this new Portuguese build with all-in organ guns, I think timing's the most important thing, and the build I saw from Samaro, which I know DracKeN will know, and I know Ganji knew.
That one too.
But
it's sick.
But Ganji forgot his boar, which kind of ruined it.
Yep.
But yeah, like, I think you could almost always get the castle up on someone's face if they're going for a traditional scout build, especially with the poles, I'd say. Because I think poles have to go 26 pop up. I don't know. Like, that's where my mind's going, organ guns. But I guess we could also be talking about Portuguese and their cheaper monks, too. But I do not think standard meta from DracKeN. I don't think multiple TCs. I just think all in aggression when I see this pick.
Yep. And he's gone for the mill first. So you don't go for the lumber camp now because you generate wood from foraging those berries. And that is complete. It feels like it's completely changed the Portuguese civ. Like, completely. Just with that tiny little bonus.
Well,
gives them the edge in early game and then allows them to get into the gold units.
I think more specifically, they were always really tough to stop if they got to all-in working guns. And it just made that play so much better because you can go up 60 seconds faster to drop that castle. But that's the scary thing about it. I do like the change a lot on Arabia.
Yeah, it's made them decent on open maps. That's the thing, right? Like, there's suddenly, if you put them in your draft, it's not just, oh, this is a closed map civ.
Yeah.
It could be an open map civ, too.
Yeah, it could be, right? It's like that thought process in the back of your head. I think certain players can take advantage of it better than others, right? Like, players who are playing with a lot of gold armies all the time, like Archer Knight combined, players who like to do that, as opposed to, like, the more defensive style players. But yeah, DracKeN's done precisely what I have seen to be the consistent thing here. One villager on the straggler tree, and then the 4 villagers on the berries. And he's going to try and go up to Castle Age much faster than Lierey's faced up against before.
Let's hope he doesn't forget his boar.
Or shoot the boar with the TC.
forgetting his boar, Ganji still almost had enough food.
Yep.
To click up to Castle Age. Like, it's just a sick build, which tells me you may even be able to carve off one more villager if you're super optimal off that build. It's crazy.
I just wonder if DracKeN is going to be bold enough to place this thing forward, because he's just scouted the walls. It's not that long of a walk, and if you get a castle up on that corner there, you can take the stone and the gold away from Liereyy. I think he should do it, and I think the most important thing when that time comes is you just send enough vills. So like, don't send 5, send 10, and then you're going to be using the market like crazy anyways. So just put those 10 villagers on a mining camp on that gold. It seems like the dream scenario. And I don't even know, like, do Poles get redemption? Like, maybe they do. But similar...
I think they have a decent monastery.
Yeah. But I think the key, even before you talk about like converting the organ guns or killing the organ guns, it's where are the organ guns being created from. So if Liereyy expects this as a possibility, he might even want to make like 2 or 3 scouts a bit earlier, like skip some eco upgrades, or try and get his Castle Age time faster than he would normally do in a boomed style game.
He didn't forget the boar.
That's good.
By the way, I saw your CBA video.
Yeah.
It's so funny, dude, because you uploaded that game. I was bored. I actually cast in fast forward you playing that CBA game, which is the very first game of CBA I've ever cast with you being
really?
And it's just crazy that you made a YouTube video on that.
That exact game or
wild.
other games?
Yeah, that exact game. Because I sent you the message, remember? Like the guy said quitting is for, or like quitters never
I was
win or
wondering
like
why
that.
you said that.
And I sent that to you, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I got that message twice within like the same hour or whatever. And I was like, whoa, this must be a thing. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I had played like 8 games prior to that because I had a cold and had nothing else to do. And as I said to you, I'm a little concerned on the whole civ balance of CBA these days because there's so many different unique units.
Bad. I've played a bunch. Like I usually play every Friday. It's not that bad.
Yeah, the tricky thing is, of course, it's like, and this is the thing that's hard to understand. And I'd said this to you, is like, I don't know if I'm that good these days. I know I felt like I used to be good, but I think that it also just depends on coordination, right? Which is a big thing in that.
It's hard to tell. And there's the thing I like about it now is that I used to know all the different, like how unique units match up against each other. Now it's a bit more confusing for me because of so many civs.
Yeah.
And I haven't played Magyar Hussar against Obuk or something like some weird sort of weird civ matchup. So I get a feel for that with new CBA, which is kind of fun. The teammates are not so good. We see Market Blacksmith here from DracKeN. He's just going for the castle drop approach, and
this is the
Liereyy
perfect
is going
build.
Scouts. Yep.
This is perfect. He went, normally you'd go 2 vills if you're staying at home. He went 1 vill and then loom because he's going to leave his base here. This is amazing. I mean, you would hope that he leaves his base. I think that gives him his best chance. And as I've been saying about this ever since I saw Samero do it in Silver League, I don't know how you stop this if it's done properly.
No, I don't. If you have a slow civ, I don't know how.
But like,
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you could maybe. It's so tough.
You would have to commit to feudal. You'd have to go like feudal age scouts and stay in feudal. And if you do that, then they just make the castle at home, and then you're stuck in feudal.
Exactly. And then you have organ guns, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe humans can do something about it.
Yeah, they could.
If you go 2 TC and some scouts to keep the castle from being forward, and then you let him mass up organ guns, but your eco is way far in front. I don't know.
I mean, it all comes down to if Liereyy has 2 to 3 scouts in the middle right now. And normally you're going to go for the eco upgrades first. Now, Liereyy went up 1 population faster than what you typically see. And also what you typically see is you see the wood upgrade next. You seed farms, and then you get your wood upgrade. You do not make a scout. And we are seeing the wood upgrade now from Liereyy, and he's not going to be able to make the scouts for a while. And here come the villagers right now, dude. I love DracKeN's commitment to this. I love the build. And the thing that you had mentioned to me after we both had seen that initial Samero game that I didn't pick up on at the time was he doesn't even buy the stone.
No.
Right?
No,
you don't even have to buy the stone.
Ridiculous, dude. It's such an optimized build.
Yep.
It's sick. I love it. And he's going all the way over here. He's coming all the way over to cut off the secondary gold from Liereyy. Instead of putting one at the front there, he's going to cut off the secondary gold. Lierey's also taking wood over on this side. And that is a very difficult position for Liereyy. Liereyy sees the castle, but there's simply nothing he can do about it.
Yep.
He's got 2 scouts, but Loom is in for DracKeN. And DracKeN is even walling off his vills, so...
What you could try is like immediately drop a tower there, but if they send enough villagers, the tower's not going to do enough in most cases.
Yeah.
And you would have to see it and react to that immediately. So Lierey's going to have a really fun time here.
Do you think it actually might be worth like to trap someone into trying to go for a forward castle? If we're talking about ways to counter the strategy, like you make it look like you don't have any military, but secretly you're on stone or you're building military or something. Wait for the foundation to come down and then YOLO with like 10 vills, 2 towers, and military.
Well, if you go scouts, they can wall in their vills, so that could not work. And I guess the main thing is that's a big risk. Like, what if they just stay at home with the castle, and then you make all this
what
stuff...
if they come forward with a castle though, and you just die anyway?
Yeah, it's just
Liereyy
so
goes
bad.
for a castle of his own. Yeah.
I honestly think Lierey's current thinking is spot on, but first off, he needs to build this castle with way more vills. Liereyy,
Yeah, not enough urgency here.
Yeah.
No urgency. Okay, now he's like, all right, maybe we need to toss a few more vills on that.
But maybe what you do is you just try and wall all the pressure out behind your castle and farm like crazy and go fast imp.
Yep.
But I don't think that even Polish farming can compete with the market abuse that you see the clowns go for. But hey, I could be wrong.
Winged Hussar do get a bonus against gunpowder units.
Yeah, and actually, well played from Liereyy here.
Yeah.
This is, I will say this about the build. Obviously, like, it's very clickbait to be like, can you even stop this? Blah, blah, blah. But it's very creative, right? And it's fun to talk about. And it's fun to think about as we see the scout from DracKeN get the villager kill.
Oh, they
just
died
barely.
Together.
But yeah, like, it's a strategic thing, which is exciting. You know, I could use this opportunity to say it's better than clicking a button. But we're not going to make those jokes as Lierey's on 2 TCs here. Not bad.
DracKeN adding some food eco behind this. Still producing organ guns. Well, actually, he stopped producing organ guns. He's going to go for monks now to claim the relics in the center. And that's another benefit of this strategy, right? When you have a forward castle, you just get those relics.
Oh,
Liereyy, though, has kept his scouts alive, which is great.
Liereyy just lost 3 villagers on the wood line on the left to the castle fire.
Oh, no. I always sent them back there after they built the castle. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's really sloppy. Not something you want to see. But he is doubling down with more stone. And DracKeN's shifted his way around here. It might seem silly, but I'd actually like to see DracKeN just take out Lierey's market once he sees the walls. Because that market's really helpful in these types of games to balance things out. He's going after the walls here. Which, honestly, I take back the market thing. Walls melt organ guns. Oh my goodness. That's 5 organ guns, and they've already taken 500 HP off of that wall. Organ gun also protecting the monks here, Dave. So that's good from Liereyy. He's not really able to get the relics right now, but he's trying to stop his opponent from getting them. Really curious what that wood's going to turn into here for DracKeN as he tries to save his monk and unfortunately does not. Needed one more organ gun there.
Sorry? Yep.
Yeah, it sounded like you were maybe muted or busy, but it's all good.
No. I was stuck in a loop. Sorry.
All good. All good.
I was completely transfixed by the organ gun firing animation. It was pretty cool.
Well, I mean, DracKeN, he's gonna want some benefit from trying to break in here with his organs if he's losing monks to the scouts from Liereyy. But he does have 2 relics, and his monks are really cheap. And yeah, this is where we see the market. We're going to see all that wood get sold. Look at the eco at home for DracKeN. There's going to be gold mining there.
Oh, he could have just taken that relic inside his base. Instead, he's trying to make the way back. Maybe he goes right through the scouts. There he sees it.
Here we go. So what's faster? Full work farming, where you get that big food boost when you farm around it, or just using the market? It's looking pretty good for DracKeN, but he only has 9 on food, so...
Yeah,
he's going to be stuck with where he's at for a while. And again, great job from Liereyy. I think he's killed 2 monks, but he's still not taking the relics himself, which I see as a big concern. And someone says, don't mangonels counter organ guns. Not really. No, they get one-shotted by multiple organ guns. And even though I think the tech tree says that organ guns should be good there, the monks being possible from the Portuguese will always just lead to them converting your siege.
Lierey's getting heavy plow. Okay, so that's good, but it also kind of delays your Imperial Age time, and Imperial Age is already on the way from DracKeN. Difficult decisions here for Liereyy, right? He's buying himself time with these defensive castles as he loses a villager. And he's getting his eco upgrades, so he should be able to build his food pretty well, but still DracKeN is going to have a significant advantage.
What's your army? Right? Like, what is your army if you're Liereyy? Even if you make it to Imp, I don't know what that would be. Oh, he's considering Cav here. He's going for the privilege upgrade here. And he's dropping stables. He must know that DracKeN's up.
The one thing I'd like to see a little bit more from DracKeN, even though he only has 35 vills, maybe some more on stone. And now he's just throwing them on stone. Okay. So he's thinking about a secondary castle. Get the trebs out. Get another castle blocking this area. Also, I'd love to see like just an outpost or something on the right side of Lierey's base.
Yeah, I agree.
So he doesn't sneak out there and start booming in the middle, maybe.
No, it's so tricky That's something that a lot of these clown players don't do. But you know, the reason is because it doesn't matter if Liereyy escapes at this point. Like if they continue to push and accomplish what they're hoping to, they should be more than fine even if something escapes there. As Liereyy comes in with his scouts, and DracKeN will save the one monk and lose the other one.
Not within range with the castle, where the castle was busy firing at the walls, so he doesn't manage to save the other castle. He does have 3 relics though now. Does DracKeN go for Fatorius? It feels like no, right?
I was gonna say yes, but then I realized he didn't prep the houses.
Yeah.
So I think he either forgot the houses or would just find that out. Yeah, he's gonna place it and now he's housed. So he's gonna need the houses. But at least he has the Treb on the way first, because I think that's the most important aspect of this. He only has 2 monks right now, Dave. He doesn't have that many. If he had like 5 or 6, it'd be tough for Liereyy to engage right now, but Liereyy is still massing those knights, and he's also hidden that fact. So I think DracKeN's going to know the second this Treb pops, because it'll have the vision on the stables.
And the outpost would help, because the knights are probably going to sneak around to the right side and come in for a flank.
Yeah. Can you imagine a siege workshop for Liereyy on the right, and then he rams in and runs in with knights? DracKeN would have
into
nothing
DracKeN's economy?
Yep.
Yeah.
But it'd be epic, because at the same time, Liereyy would have nothing to stop whatever DracKeN was pushing with.
I mean, Liereyy is still not on the way to Imperial Age, and he's just going knights. He's all in castling here. If he doesn't get a good initial engagement, if he doesn't take out the Trebs, he's going to run out of stone to repair his castles. Yeah. And he's, oh man, Tristan, he's doing it. Petards. It's petards. It's petards from Liereyy, so he's probably going to try and get into DracKeN's economy at home with the knights.
I'm wondering if he's going to be sneaky with the petards on the sides, or if there's a world... Nah, there's no way he could use the petards for the castle, right?
He needs to delete the walls and go out this side.
Yeah, go to the right.
DracKeN, you should have vision over there, my dude.
Liereyy is
should
still...
have something over there.
Like, he's running out of space here, Dave, and he needs to fight soon, and DracKeN's going to have pikemen soon, plus he has the organs, plus he has the castle fire, and then he has monks with 12 range, and he's going to have 6 of them. And there's 15 knights. It feels like now might be an opportunity for Liereyy to take it, but he's trying to be as patient as possible because he knows his economy is stronger. And there he is deleting the walls, Dave.
Yep, he's heading out with a monk to give him extra vision there, too.
I like it.
And he's going to loop the petards around. He's going to wait with his knights because he might need them in defense. He's going to wait till his petards are like halfway across. Man, I said this at the beginning.
This might be the way to counter it, though, is just get some type of counter in.
Maybe.
Lierey's forever Castle Age.
DracKeN should have vision here. He should have vision here.
Yeah.
He should. There's no reason to not. It's such a small investment.
DracKeN's still so focused on his push. Now, here's the deal.
That Fatorio will melt to the knights, by the way. His entire eco will die to the knights.
If this happens to you, if you're DracKeN, you quick wall your vills and you never go home. It sounds stupid, but you going home means that you're allowing...
You lose.
Yeah, you lose. You have to just dive even deeper into Lierey's base, which is why this game's going to be epic. Liereyy trying to deal with this strategy that's been plaguing everyone.
DracKeN's running with the vills. He sees it. He's running forward with the vills. He says, get to safety. It's not safe here.
Let's go.
He realizes that's not going to happen.
Wall him in,
DracKeN.
DracKeN.
Back towards his wood line.
Wall him in.
All over his stuff.
Oh, he's not even trying to wall. You got to wall your vills with stone or something. Oh.
He's just trying to escape, and Lierey's in with the knights.
Well,
Liereyy can kill all of these vills. Kill the Fatoria. It's a forward Fate.
Let's go.
I've never seen this.
Safest area of his eco. He didn't even garrison his vills. No attempt to save anybody, really. I guess it was an attempt to save them, but it wasn't realistic. Let's put it that way.
Liereyy is now leaving his base. DracKeN still doesn't have vision on this area. Liereyy is leaving his base, making a TC in the middle. Liereyy is still alive right now, but DracKeN could win this game after losing his entire home economy and the first Fatoria he's made. DracKeN is at 16 villagers right now. 5 of them are in the TC, 11 of them are in Lierey's base.
DracKeN needs to convert every single knight to have a chance. So there's a lot of knights. There's only 7 monks. These are pikemen, not halberdier. So you can't lose the monks, and you need everyone to get a conversion. And Liereyy is under so much pressure.
Every conversion on a vill that DracKeN gets is a big boost to his eco.
Yep,
not
big
gonna
fight.
lie.
Big fight. You got to take those
Huge
knights
fight.
out. Can Liereyy make more knights? He's got his other knights coming back home right now, Dave. They're going to arrive, and it's going to help him win this fight. And I think if Liereyy takes the fight, he's in a good position in this game. I don't know if it means it's over or what, but he just needs to take out those Trebs to slow this down for the time being.
Yep. Trebs are going to be taken out. DracKeN, he's buying food. He has very limited resources. Only that Vittoria bringing him food right now. 0 on food, 0 on gold, 0 on stone, 6 on wood.
It's such a crawl. Oh, man. Meanwhile, DracKeN's main economy is not looking too great. He's got 2 castles. He's dropping his... Well, yeah, his main economy, I guess, is the Vittorias, so...
Yeah,
that's
his main
fine.
economy's in Lierey's base, dude. But Lierey's expanding still. Like, this could have... so frustrating.
Well, okay, so hear me out, though. I first off, I'm not saying I disagree. But I'm wondering, if you see the knights coming to your base, what do you even do? I actually think it's just a perfect counter or perfect play from Liereyy, because you've got
more
Organ
villagers
guns and
forward.
monks.
Just like he did when he saw this stuff coming in.
Ah, that's true. You get to leave
First
them.
off, you see the petards. It's not like you see the knights. You see the petards,
And then you can
that's
leave
like
ahead
a
of
solid
time.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Or
true.
you just kill the petards, and then the knights can't get in.
It feels like monks need to be coming out, and you're also going to want Trebs. Lierey's got to be like, why did I ban this freaking map? But thank God he didn't, because this is hilarious.
I've never seen a forward Vittoria other than like a meme, like, you're just flexing on someone.
I know.
He's got 70 pop technically, but realistically, he's only got 30 population.
Yeah. Lierey's donating a few knights there, desperate to take out the Vittoria. It would actually be a huge loss for DracKeN if he loses this, and Liereyy knows that. Oh my God.
Just commit to it. Just commit onto it. With
He
the
should have
knights.
built
It's
it
like-
between the castles, apparently.
Yep, there it goes.
Wow.
Second Vittoria destroyed this game. DracKeN going all in on gold, and DracKeN can afford... he can afford to help somehow.
How did he get that upgrade?
Dude, Lierey's winning this, though. I mean, he's got 3 TCs in the middle
Well,
now.
it might be a ring around the rosy for a while, though, because if there were 2 Trebs right now, with Halbs and those monks going for Lierey's main eco...
There are no Trebs.
I know, but there's one on the way. Like, Lierey's main eco is going to need to be abandoned, is kind of my point. So they might trade bases here. Also, the knights that DracKeN converted, he should be using to chase down villagers that are running here.
Honestly, looking at DracKeN's base, I don't think Liereyy wants that.
Well, I think he might end up doing it, and I'm wondering if he's going to create more vills or if he's going to try and save resources for Imp. He's getting fletching now. Oh, man. I mean, DracKeN still has a chance. Don't ask me how, but he still has a chance. He's got 21 Halbs. If he protects the Trebs and keeps moving around the map, he absolutely has a chance.
He has a chance if Liereyy decides to go Imp on one of these TCs at the back. Or the TC at the back, but he's nowhere near Imp. Still just booming up. Got 7 villagers in the queue, and he should lose like 21 vills at the back of his base here.
Yeah.
The problem is that DracKeN is losing everything at his base. He'll never get back there. He's found the extra TCs. And he still has really no resources for another Vittoria. It needs another Vittoria. Should buy the wood or whatever.
Okay, DracKeN can see those vills running now. And if he were to just chase them, that might end up being the better move. Will be funny. Maybe he's leaving that TC there, so Liereyy accidentally goes Imp in that one. But Lierey's going to go crossbow and Castle Age. That seems to be the play. This is insane. Look at that army count. 30 versus 17. DracKeN absolutely has a chance. Especially because the majority of Lierey's villagers are like, they're leaving. So they're not working right now. He doesn't have a farming eco anymore.
Bro, DracKeN has 10 vills. Legitimate strategy from Liereyy. Dive in with the knights, kill all the vills before DracKeN gets another TC.
I don't even know if you need a TC. DracKeN knows. He's just like, army Trebs, let's go. And the other thing, too, is it's actually easier to play from DracKeN's position because you don't have an eco to pay attention to. Liereyy has to do so much more from this position.
I mean, it's a second Vittoria now for DracKeN, so he's going to start racking up resources a little bit faster.
Oh my goodness. Also has the 5 relics, which has always paid off. Plus he's got Lierey's gold. That's the thing for Liereyy too, is like, I guess the only place he could take gold is in DracKeN's base. But look, Lierey's losing Vills. He's going to lose this TC.
Oh my god.
This is insane.
Oh my god. DracKeN, don't tell me you can win this.
This strategy's so crazy, man. Just the timing. Also, when he researched Halb, when he had 6 of them, I was judging him. I've liked it a little bit more ever since. But he's going to see the
really
crossbows
good conversions
now.
On the crossbows. Like,
yep.
really good conversions. He's going to see them. Lierey's doing the right thing in that he's building up his army before he takes an engagement.
The Halbs got pulled back for some reason. And now here come the
Knights. Halbs are at the house at the back. DracKeN, you need to get the Halbs to the monks. Lierey's not committing onto those monks. He's got a lot of crossbows, though.
I have the biggest smile on my face right now, and I hope everyone else watching this with us does as well. This is so crazy. Lierey's just dropping range on range on range. Normally, you want bombard cannons if you actually have economy. I think in this case, DracKeN's just... Actually, what he should probably do is make a few more organ guns, but he's just going monks to convert those crossbows. That's a big army from Liereyy.
That's a huge army. It's a massive army. The converted knights will help against the crossbows, but there's just so many crossbows here.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going to clear up all of the halbs. The knights are getting some decent value there. We got some monks going for crossbow conversions now. Liereyy is losing quite a few units here, but DracKeN is getting his halbs taken out. DracKeN has a lot of resources in the bank, though.
Yeah, and he has...
He can queue more monks, especially. 14 monks in the queue, Tristan.
And, I mean, if he can just save what's left of the halbs, I think he might end up being okay. Liereyy might run out of gold here. And DracKeN's just not hesitating here. He's like, let's go. I'm going to convert all your crossbows. I need crossbows. What
monks
in the world?
Cheap. Monks are cheap to DracKeN right now. The crossbows are dying!
Are you kidding
Still only
me?
one Treb. Still only one Treb supporting this, but the crossbows are all dead here. I'd love to see DracKeN get a Treb on the eco in Lierey's base. Even just killing houses right now I think is very valuable.
The way of the clown, people. The way of the clown. DracKeN, 68 pop. 40 of that's Fatorias. He's pushing Liereyy somehow. Lierey's down to 10 army at the moment.
Yep. 10 army. Monastery is dead now. Knights are coming in. And those crossbows are going to die. Oh, boy. Liereyy doesn't want to... You don't want to call the GG in a game like this, dude.
No.
You know he's down to, like, single-digit, barely double-digit villagers.
Okay, a great switch here from Liereyy. Also, DracKeN just unqueued a couple monks. But Lierey's going to go light cav. Now, he doesn't really have the food eco, but I feel like donating light cav or using the light cav with the crossbows could do it, which should prompt DracKeN to make more halbs, but also I think like 4 or 5 organ guns mixed in, excuse me, as he makes Fatoria number 3, would also be hugely helpful in these fights.
He should still start, I'm convinced, he should just get one Treb to start working away on the eco from Liereyy at the back. There's like Lierey's housed right now. You don't see really any buildings forward, and Liereyy, one thing he's short on is space. If you start clearing up all the houses, stables, this TC back here, everything like that, it'd be really, really good.
You know, the struggle is, like, I honestly think if DracKeN were to just pull back for a moment, he could actually be okay. But when you're behind so many villagers, you never want to do that. He hasn't had a TC in a very long time, so that's why he's always pushing forward. That Halb, by the way...
in the back, by the way.
Light cav?
In the stables at the back of Lierey's base as well. Because he doesn't have any stables in the middle. He's only got archer ranges in the middle, so his light cav are going to be... There, Liereyy has a lot of crossbows. 31 now.
Yeah, I think it's maybe at the point of too many. As DracKeN
don't give Vills.
Converting
don't give Vills to DracKeN. No, that's a huge boost to his eco, bro. Don't do it. That's a massive.
I can't wait till DracKeN just drops a mining camp on that gold too. He might make a stable there.
That's a huge swing. I think he needs a lumber camp, honestly.
I think he's wasted some of his conversions on villagers, and now the crossbows are here. Oh, shoot.
He doesn't have any knights to deal with those.
Run away! There's no organ guns either. Oh, and the light cav came in from the other side, Dave.
Bro, you live by the clown, you die by the clown. Currently dying by the clown.
Wow.
Is DracKeN. Light cav, looking for monk snipes. Not enough conversions left over. He's taking out a few crossbows. He's shooting with the crossbows, but the halbs are going down. And Liereyy is microing his way through this entire army from DracKeN, but DracKeN has now gotten Cavalier.
There's a chance.
And he's got 3 Fatorias still.
I know a lot of people are going to say GG right now, but there is a chance, okay? You still have like 10 more monks that are on the way if you're DracKeN. You've got 3 Fatorias, and your opponent is stuck on Castle Age Army. If you can get Cavalier with Imp Armor, you get some insane fights upcoming. And he's getting Imp Armor. He's researching Cavalier. He actually could still win this game.
No TC. No TC.
No
life for
TC.
DracKeN.
Who needs it? Who needs
a long
TC? Oh my goodness gracious!
I don't think the food's coming in fast enough, and I think like, oh, there's another Fetora. Oh my god.
4 of them. Might as well make it 5 at this point. I mean, thank you to DracKeN for giving us this game. I just want to add that. Like, people kind of clowned on him and didn't predict that he could even make it to Platinum after Gold League. He played so good on all the maps, including Arena, obviously. But, like, this is the build we talked about, but that we just didn't expect him to have a chance after he lost his entire base.
Yep.
And he has put up such an incredible fight. Very impressive stuff.
The problem for Liereyy here is that he's still in Castle Age. He doesn't have anything to take out like this fortification over here.
He
so
also
DracKeN
doesn't
just
know.
plays super condensed. Yeah.
Like, he
can't even get
saw
close to
one stable foundation. He doesn't know it's a full commit. If there's 30 Cavalier on the map, Lierey's dead. Liereyy has no way of defending. And I think it might... Like, Liereyy might be dropping a castle at some point, trying to go imp, but he might not have an army when he makes it there.
Oh, DracKeN just showed him on the wall. Oh, DracKeN just showed him for a second.
Ooh.
What does Liereyy do? Did he notice that? He's going for full works in DracKeN's base.
DracKeN's going to head to his own base.
And a castle.
Okay, here come the Cavalier.
These Cavalier have all of the armor upgrades. Remember that.
They're so good. I think he needs a couple
Castle
more.
Age crossball just not doing enough damage to these. Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, the monks are going to go down for DracKeN.
Yep.
But
does the castle go up and do the crossbows survive? That's the question. They're just going to have to hide these in the TC, I think.
I don't think that castle goes up.
No.
That gets denied. And there's more Cavalier on the way.
DracKeN's going to... Oh, Lierey's up to him.
Liereyy is up to Imp, Dave, but what army is he going to have? And Liereyy taps out! Liereyy taps out. He says, I can't deal with this crap. Why did I ban Arena? I should have banned it like everyone told me to. Oh my goodness. Realistically, if you look at the actual population, the actual working population, we have a 31 population victory at 53 minutes from DracKeN. Unbelievable game. That was
13
insane.
13 vills in a dream. 13 vills in a dream. Okay, so his population says 111, but actually he's at 31.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, like, there was a pretty glaring error, as you said, Dave. He didn't know the sneak was coming. We have to, of course, applaud Liereyy for petarding in the first place, because that was a really good play. I ask again, how on earth do you stop this crap? Because if you don't stop the castle, if you can't win the game after taking out their whole base Zico, how do you win the game? This is Liereyy of all people, but what an entertaining one. Do you think that's an early GG from Liereyy, or do you actually think that he is straight up dead there?
I think he's dead. Honestly, do. Because all the light cav went down, right? He's got his food eco he's trying to set up in DracKeN space, which maybe he can get set up, but he can never protect. He can't get the castle up, which means he can't, even if he gets up to Imp, he has no trebs.
Yep.
To siege down all that stuff. And there's no way he's keeping his crossbows alive against the full armor Cavalier in the 2 minutes he needs to get up to him.
I agree. He won't have an army. Him being an imp with 60 more villagers will mean nothing by the time he makes it there. That's an insane game. I can't wait to look.
Holy.
I want to use Capture Age, look at the economy population. Okay, economy population, military population. Those are some very different graphs right there. And Liereyy always had the villagers. He just couldn't get the numbers there. I mean, he dropped the castle originally because he felt as though he needed to stop the organs. Then he went all in knights against the fast imp. Did more damage than I think he was even hoping for in his opponent's base. But it was just, I guess it cost so much for Liereyy to get there. I mean, I'm looking at the resources collected now, and I'm kind of stumped.
I like DracKeN's Eco EAPM. Average 14.
Yeah.
He didn't need it.
Now, does that count as APM when he builds a Fatoria? Because
I don't know.
There's 4 instances there where that would have contributed.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, that's just not the map that Liereyy would want. And he gave DracKeN the opportunity and paid the price there in that game.
DracKeN's in my chat. He said, "Easy game, smile."
Yep, Mr. Platinum. That's the swagger. We like it.
Mr. Platt, right? Mr. Platt. Let's go, dude.
Well, DracKeN, that will probably be the only time you get to play Arena in the rest of your group in Titans League. No one else is going to make that mistake. So practice Fortified Clearing and Regicide Fortress. But a great game. And, we had said that the goal for DracKeN going in against Yo, going in against Liereyy and MBL is probably just get one win there. Right, so he's accomplished that. Maybe he has Liereyy on tilt. Maybe he can get win number 3 or something. But Lierey's got to be frustrated with himself and has to regain his composure now. Here we are. I got to fix the colors again, naturally. But we've got DracKeN back in the blue, Liereyy back in the red. And this will come with a tiny little spoiler. There's so much content, though, with Titans League that it's just not going to be possible for me or anyone else to not talk about things. So this is actually DracKeN's second round. Dave and I did cast Yo versus DracKeN a couple days ago in the first round. And it was the same situation coming into game 3. Scoreline was 1-1. DracKeN had these sick victories on a closed map. DracKeN also chose Chinese, and he just didn't look super capable at playing the Chinese.
Oh, yeah,
on
I
Arabia.
remember that game. Oh, boy.
So that's where my mind went originally here, is just clearly his faith in Chinese again. He's picked them early. That's definitely the civ that the majority of the top pros would prefer on Arabia. And then Lierey's gone for Saracens, Dave. Are you surprised by that?
Well, I mean, there is a window where Saracens can really punish the Chinese, especially if they are trying to go fully walled, right?
Yeah.
You play into archers, maybe get a faster castle each time than them. And DracKeN could be at risk here because the whole front of his base is wide open, which means that if he wants to wall up and play defensively, he's going to have to wall at the back and rely on those 2 back golds. But I feel like with Saracens, you can punch your way through there.
Yeah, and it's definitely more of an Arabia version now as compared to the first season, where you can't rely on walling as much in general. DracKeN did try it against Portuguese. Yo had kept him open with a little militia play, and Yo pretty much dominated him from there. So I think if DracKeN would have learned anything from his Game 3 Arabia against Yo, it will be that maybe small walling is the option, and then once you have the resources and the army controlled, then you can full wall later on in the game.
I mean, to be fair, Yo played that one really well too.
He did. Yeah, he played super strong there.
It's easy to look like you're playing badly when Mr. Yo is just two militia drush into like men-at-arm follow-up with range right away.
He had everything. Scouts too at one point.
Yeah.
So I know that Liereyy can perform well with Saracens. But it is worth mentioning in terms of the draft. He had Japanese game 1, Bulls game 2, Saracens game 3 versus Mongols, Portuguese, and now Chinese. And these are just the civilizations that were played. Obviously, they each picked 5. On paper, I think DracKeN has been more prepared with the draft. Everything's looked really clean.
This deer is trolling him so hard.
It really is. It's already taken an arrow, too.
There we go. Now it's dead. Now it's finally dead. Deer took a ride around the economy from DracKeN. He should have probably been able to push like 2 deer by now, but that's fine. He's going to explore a little bit. Lierey's already explored his entire base. And, well, Liereyy is behind by a villager, but that's because of Chinese. DracKeN only with 24 seconds of idle TC time. So actually a fairly decent start.
Yeah, there's a couple aspects of his Dark Age that has been awkward. Like, I think his boar timing could be a little off right now. But the good news for him is he has prepped some palisade walls. And he's going for the small walls, right? He's not trying to full wall. We'll see what he does with his wood line. But that's a good play because Lierey's going to have militia, just like Yo did. Saracen's normally about rushing to feudal. So Liereyy not doing that. But he comes back home, pushes a little deer into his TC.
Well, he goes for the drush. I wonder if he's going to do like an adaptive kind of 2 militia drush. Where you go for the 2 militia, and then if they still have HP, by the time you hit feudal age, then you upgrade to men-at-arms and add a few more.
Yeah, he could. Yeah,
Some people do that really, really well. Some people, like Sebastian, opt to just go for the double archer range.
Double range. That was such a sick game.
Yep.
If you're listening or watching now and you didn't see Viper versus Sebastian Arabia, you guys
Game
all
one,
need to go watch that. And game 2 was
Game
sick
one
too.
was game 2. Game 2 was sick too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Crazy series there in Group D. Shoot, this is actually my screen. It says Group B, D, and it should be B. Crap. What time are you at now?
7:40.
Okay. I'm gonna get you. We're there. I'm at 7:44. Yeah? Did I speed up too much?
I'm at 7:54.
Yay! Good job. Good job. When
I actually paused for 2 seconds to let you catch up, so that's a good job on me.
Yeah, well, I also
have to
sped
say.
up, so it's good job on both of us.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Double good job.
Double good job, and double good job from DracKeN with the walls towards the TC and the small walls on his berries. I'm really concerned with the fact that that one bush only has 60 food, though. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. He seems to be trying to go to gold, but if Liereyy sees that, Liereyy should not allow that to happen.
Oh, this is like the game against Yo all over again, dude.
Yep.
It's like it all over again, the 2 militia drush. But DracKeN's going to push it away. He's going to get some fast damage against the scout, and he is going to be in feudal age first, which means he will have the stronger scout here for a while. So maybe he can push this away.
He should be
It's a bit
okay.
of a weird mining camp, but it is what it is.
He will not
be
want to
fine.
contest this at all, because when Liereyy hits feudal, that scout will be stronger, and there's the potential for a Vil pick. I wouldn't want to fight without feudal if I'm DracKeN, and now he does. And overall, especially compared to
Not
that
bad.
start against Yo, yeah, very, very good.
Yeah.
And Liereyy is not adding any militia anyways. Lierey's just going to go for archers behind this.
The barracks for DracKeN, once again, fairly late. But I guess he was distracted. Won't be able to make the archer range right away. Last time he went for scouts. That was his build with Chinese, and Liereyy is now coming forward with villagers. Or are they just trying to hunt there?
No, they're just going to hunt.
Liereyy does love to send villagers out to gather the deer. And honestly, in the final of Grand Melee against Hera, he threw so hard because of that. Lost 3 villagers for free, so I'd hate to see something like that happen here again.
Well, timing on the range is pretty much the same from both players. So that shouldn't be too bad. And again, we've got to remind everyone, Chinese, cheaper technologies. Chinese start with more villagers. Chinese also have better options than the Saracens. I mean, that said, Saracens, I'd say, are underrated with their tech tree. They actually have a pretty crazy tech tree, but more than anything these days, especially in the hands of Liereyy, you just see archers and a race to Castle Age. As we see a blacksmith already from Liereyy. His builds are so clean.
And a second archer range from DracKeN, so
Yeah.
DracKeN won't have fletching early. Liereyy will. Fletching's coming in right now. Also, like, strange way to set up archer ranges here. Usually
I agree.
People are trying to make them as part of the wall, but DracKeN's just like, you know what? This looks cool.
Yeah, it really, I guess it might be for a wraparound wall to the stones later. That's the only way I
Maybe.
could justify it.
Or just like easy production. If you set them up other ways, your archers are going to be bumping around
Yeah, that could be it too.
the walls. I don't know.
All right, well,
Liereyy will scout the second range though, so he knows exactly what's coming.
yeah, and Liereyy
get
says,
his walls down.
Liereyy goes, okay, I see more investment from army from him. I'm just going to drop my market, and we're just going to race this bad boy to Castle Age as quickly as possible. Him having fletching, though, does give him a really good window.
Oh, armor.
The skirms is not going to be something DracKeN expects. DracKeN's going full archers.
He did see the skirms with his scout.
How can he afford wood upgrade, fletching, armor, and skirms at this time? The deer
don't
must
know.
have made
Lierey's
such a big
insane.
difference. This build is
Yeah.
insane. I would never be able to afford that. Like, I'd be in DracKeN's shoes. I'd be like, okay, fletching's going to be a little late. I guess it's different, but he's still...
Honestly, I feel like if you want to punish Liereyy, identify where the deer are and then wait until like a few minutes into feudal age and show up there with army, because I guarantee you there will be villagers there. He always does it.
Hey,
always.
we saw the meta become 2 militia drush. It could be 1 militia drush against Liereyy and just go for the deer.
And kill the deer.
Yep. Great job here though from DracKeN. I mean, he does lose a Vil, but he's getting some good hits, and he's just counterattacking to Lierey's base. And Lierey's undermade army, so Lierey's gonna have to micro like crazy here. And they will find each other, but I really am impressed with how this is played by DracKeN. He should be able to defend himself.
He does have armor on the skirms, but if the archers just ignore the skirms, DracKeN can find some serious value. Just kill the vills, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't want to lose your whole army to kill the vills, but DracKeN's good enough with micro, and he kills 2 villagers. Dude, we already had Running beat Vinchester 2-1 to open up their group. Like, if DracKeN were to beat Liereyy 2-1 here, that would be insane, but I maybe got a little bit ahead of myself. DracKeN didn't really run away, and there's now too many skirmishers from Liereyy there, and he's not going to be able to kill much more.
That archer is going to die, though. Is the wolf targeting the archer or the skirmisher? Wolves coming in.
There's 2 of them.
Wolves coming in.
Woo, 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 woo. Let's go.
They're multiplying. Oh, they're both targeting the skirmer. Okay.
That's so much better for DracKeN, though.
Yeah.
DracKeN doesn't care about that archer. All right. The army count still higher for DracKeN. He's sending more army forward. Lierey's still aiming to click to Castle Age, but he can do that type of thing as the wolf still attacks if his micro is good enough. And full skirms from Liereyy. The other thing about that, Dave, is you can't really kill somebody quickly with skirmishers in the next stage.
Yep.
You can only do that with crossbowmen.
But Liereyy is going for a stable now, and Saracen Market, he still hasn't sold his stone, so he has a lot of free gold to work with here if he really wants to get up quickly. But DracKeN's economy back home is looking pretty nice. Got 15 farms, still doesn't have a horse collar. I know it's tough with ranges, but you are Chinese, so maybe want to think about that.
Especially with how casual he was with his range.
It's DracKeN who sells his stone first. Or no, Liereyy sells it first. DracKeN sells right after him.
Yeah, the prices...
And he's going to try and click up.
Prices won't be that big of a conversation now, but we'll see how long players rely on that market. It feels like both players actually have good farming eco. I've been really impressed with how DracKeN's played this, though, considering all his strengths on closed maps. He's really shown how good he can be here. 13-9 KD against Liereyy of all people. Liereyy drushed him. And now we see a stable at home from DracKeN, who's going to try and sneak 2 archers over to Lierey's woodline. But Lierey's done a really good job walling up. That's something DracKeN can't say right now.
Funny how DracKeN has walled up all the areas of his base they should be moving towards.
Oh my god.
He's leaving the front completely open.
Oh my
the archers
god.
Are in.
The archers are in.
That's very annoying. It's only 2, but still.
He should kill a Vill. He should at least kill a Vill. Yeah. Liereyy has to pull back the villagers that get attacked instantly, and it's really bad for his economy too.
Yep. He's gone for a scout though, so that's good. He's getting the armor right now.
And go for the Vill.
He's gonna go for a gate, and DracKeN won't even get a Vill.
It's gonna be super close.
He's not gonna get it.
He's gonna get it.
He's gonna get it.
He's gonna get it.
Ah!
Worth it.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't. I thought about betting something on that.
Triple stable.
Triple
from DracKeN.
stable.
It's like, okay, at the moment though, Lierey's thinking I'm gonna surprise him by having stable units.
Yep.
He's not expecting his opponent to have triple stable units.
And Liereyy is sending 2 villagers forward too.
If he goes siege first, it would be a horrible mistake from Liereyy. Okay, there's the monastery. That's a good idea.
So DracKeN goes triple stable, but then gets horse collar and gets bowsaw as well. Is he gonna have enough to even like? He's gonna get 1 knight out of this 3rd stable initially. Camels now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that's where it gets interesting. A lot of players are always gonna want the monastery. So many people think that adding the 3rd stable is always a waste because you're later to the monastery. And the monastery from Liereyy is going to end up evening things out in the first place, or anyways, as he goes double monastery. So Liereyy loses to tons of monks and crazy arena play. Now double monastery from him.
Like, this was good last game.
Yeah. DracKeN is playing open though, so he's got to be careful with his gold.
I love how Liereyy has made like a little inside pen for the monks too.
I agree.
So he can just sit there completely protected and convert stuff. He's trying to block that knight. The knights are trying to go in for counter raids, not going to find their way into Lierey's economy easily because it's fully walled and there's camels chasing after them. And now DracKeN has to shift back into archers.
Yeah, that's a rough shift, isn't it? It's a really difficult shift. I mean, it is. The positive here is you don't normally see Saracens go for a lot of knights. So camels will be weak against archers, but that's going to be awkward as he runs away with half his army. Atonement from Liereyy, though. He's expecting DracKeN to play this like a clown again. He's expecting to see, like, quadruple monasteries. And DracKeN's actually the one playing standard here.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it could cost him the game, too. He's only going to have 3 monks. His opponent is going to have, like, maybe 10 or so crossbows, and there's no siege from Liereyy.
I mean, crossbow upgrade is still expensive. He still needs to get that upgrade. He's getting bodkin right now. There's crossbow coming in. They're being built up, but still, Liereyy is going to have vision on those archers coming out, right? And he's going to have vision on the archers being matched. So now he's pre-warned on what's happening. DracKeN is like, oh god, he got atonement. He deletes the monk.
I love how he is so much experience that he knows to delete there. So many people do not delete in those instances. Oh god, Lierey's micro though with the monks, looking like a seasoned arena player. Gets great conversions, and now there's so much army here from Liereyy.
So many camels.
Yep.
So many camels here from Liereyy. Once he clears up the army, the villagers are free, and he still has 2 monks behind this. Just needs to make sure he's not losing his monks for free. This one will be healed up, and the crossbows will be pulled out of position, so they can't keep chasing.
Great micro from DracKeN.
Conversion, maybe?
I love the micro from DracKeN. He also knew that the camels offered very little value in killing the bills, so he didn't even try and wall or panic there. He just controlled his forces, as he'll probably keep pulling the camels back.
He has really good production, too, although he's housed right now. He's got 9 crossbows in the queue.
Yeah.
Camel's still working away, though, and now the knights are adding into that. The camels are all low HP. Maybe Liereyy doesn't want to take this fight with low HP camels, bring him back and heal him up. And that's why, because they just fold.
It shows that there's 10 army there, but realistically, it's like 5 with how little HP he has. Great job from Liereyy, though, to mix in the knights. Very important for DracKeN that he picks off those weak units. He was confident before. He needs to be confident again. He cannot allow that army to get healed up. And I don't think you'd complain too much about losing a crossbow. I think realistically, you just don't want to lose the camels or the knights.
I like this, though. 1 TC for both. And they're not really close to adding a second TC either. So it's just all-in army play here. We got 3 monks now healing the knights and the camels. Siege Workshop from Liereyy. No use hiding it. Puts it right beside the monastery from DracKeN.
Man, it feels like that hill there, and also the fact that DracKeN can't contribute with his own monks. 2 awkward things for DracKeN, as he'll be up against chain-barding armor knights now.
Dude, that micro was so nice there from Liereyy. That little micro movement with the monks to get out of the crossbow fire and then start converting immediately after that. I don't know if you saw that. It was nice. It was beautiful.
Bloodlines now. Saracen camels also have a bit more HP, which is going to help. This is looking pretty dangerous. Any fight could change this game one way or another, but it's only in front of one person's base. Good micro from DracKeN, though. You could so easily just reverse the roles, and the people would believe it, you know?
Yep. But Liereyy playing crossbows, DracKeN playing monk siege knight. Yep.
But I still love the fact that DracKeN's showing how sick he can be on this map. Like, he doesn't play this map on ladder much.
Nice attack round. Really good attack round there from Liereyy. He's targeting 3 camel for conversion. He gets all 3. He gets all 3. Almost gets a shot there. Great micro from DracKeN to avoid that. And he's
Lierey's not attacking.
Liereyy is not attacking, and Liereyy is losing monks now. Liereyy is losing monks. Uh-oh. This could be bad for Liereyy. He does have +2 armor, but a lot of these cavalry are weak. He's going to have to retreat.
Yeah, he only has 9 knights. DracKeN needs to force the issue until he sees another Mangonel. And with 30 crossbows, I think you just hope that you can micro down the Mangonel if it pops out. Like, Lierey's going to have 1 pop here. He's going to try and time it.
That is a rough position to be walking through, though. The balls on DracKeN to just go right through here, all clumped up.
Oh, no.
A Mangonel is out. The
He
shot
gets
comes
it.
in, but he gets it.
What? That was insane, and it's the worst possible engagement for Liereyy now. He will lose this game if he continues to fight this. This is a disaster fight. Oh my god.
I think DracKeN's going to win this series.
2-1 against Liereyy would be massive. And the forward's going to be completely cleared up. Liereyy now has to decide on what he makes as an army composition. If he wants to defend from the crossbows, he probably needs siege at home. Or he needs to continue to make knights, which his civilization isn't good at in the first place. DracKeN showed up to play like so many of the promoted players from Gold because they realized the best time for them is early on. The other players, it's just another tournament for them. But you know, it's like one of the best achievements from DracKeN, who named himself Mr. Platinum to get in here. I love this. He's even adding a TC at home right now, Dave. So he's going to boom it out a little bit.
Liereyy probably could have got a better shot with the Mangonel. I think he right-clicked rather than attack grounding. inside, so he didn't get as many kills.
Yep.
But still, DracKeN, the balls to just run under the Siege Workshop
So
like
insane.
that, crazy.
Yeah. And like, honestly, Lierey's taken really good fights in this game. And I've seen some people use the word throw. I don't think it was a throw. There was never a point in this game where Liereyy had the definitive advantage.
Okay. Lierey's getting in now with +2 armor.
This is the type of thing that DracKeN doesn't face off against a lot, right?
Yep.
So there's a little crack in the armor there. No quick wall there. Woodline on the left. There's another knight. It's suddenly Arabia now.
Oh,
and Lierey's taking losses too, but he's doing a good job to get some damage in because he knows DracKeN can't be stopped in his base too easily.
That TC is hideous from Liereyy. Like, it's just not a TC you ever want to go for. But, I mean, it's the one he had to go for, right?
That's true. That's really bad. Like, Sebastian placed one earlier in the day on a relic.
Oh, on the relic? Oh,
but
my God, bro.
I think I would prefer that over this one. And look at Lierey's working economy right now. I mean, they both have a lot of idols. But I will say this. The counterattack was the only play there for Liereyy. Had he waited at home, he would have been in trouble. So he's made this messy. And the longer the game goes with Liereyy versus DracKeN, you would assume that Lierey's going to be the player who has that advantage. Gotta love how DracKeN used so much of his gold that it's just, he's finished it already, and he's onto the safe golds in the back, and Liereyy probably doesn't know about those. This is an amazing game.
Off of all of these farms at the front, which is truly unfortunate for him.
Also, look at the scouting from DracKeN.
Yeah, he had his auto scout working the entire time.
And then look at the scouting from Liereyy. Liereyy doesn't see any of the back of DracKeN's base.
And he doesn't see, like, any relics. He sees one forward. That's it. DracKeN, oh, he's going to pick off 3 monks. Liereyy, you need to run away.
Lierey's got to be so frustrated with himself right now. And was he underestimating the guy? I mean, I don't think he played the most meta of Civilizations. I also don't think we've seen Liereyy play poorly today in this series. I think he's had an amazing series. Remember game one,
he was a little bit sloppy.
Was a little sloppy,
but he was the better player for sure.
Yep. And Lierey's been trying to decide where his small army goes. And here he is, and he's running up the hill against these crossbowmen. And DracKeN's got sick archer micro. Lierey's going to get us around.
Right through, though. He goes right through with a couple knights, and he's getting a lot of damage against these crossbows. Some of those knights are weak, but the crossbow number is dwindling here. However, Liereyy, just constantly in and out of this TC at the back of his base. Can never take that secondary gold, cut off of so many of his farms. He is on stone now, which is good for him, and he does have a mangonel, so hope lives for Liereyy, but DracKeN's still holding a really good position back there.
A lot of players, if they feel like they're the underdog, they get into Lierey's base and they dive for damage. And they don't stay here. They don't have this level of patience. The players who have this level of patience, good call out there, Dave. It's going to be a second shot too, and unfortunately for DracKeN, it hits.
I love how Liereyy, do you see how he sent in the mangonel there to get close, so he knew he would get that second shot? He wasn't at maximum range.
You never try and take out a monk with a camel. Never.
No, never.
That's just not a good decision. But, you know, the patience continues, and, like, Liereyy can only ignore this stuff for so long. Because if he doesn't control the middle of the map, then he's investing into control in the most vulnerable of areas.
Oh, he's putting farms on that side. He puts farms on this side of the TC, the downhill slope, and then immediately deletes them when they're complete. He was like, yeah, rethink that.
Well, we have both stones forward here for DracKeN. And he might actually want to loop home with his camels now and leave the crossbows, because that fight that he took a moment ago, we're losing those crossbows, to snowballed into something bigger. Lierey's got more monks. He's got more siege. He's on top of a hill. And I think DracKeN will come home with those camels.
I don't think you come home with the crossbows, though.
Yeah, it takes too long.
Keep the crossbows forward, yeah.
Also, I think adding your own siege would be really helpful. It's always tough uphill, but when you take that engagement, you're going to want something to get value if your crossbows don't.
And DracKeN's finally going in between the TCs here. Just keep moving in between those TCs. If he had done that earlier and gone into the woodline from Liereyy, might have been curtains, but he's so distracted, dude. He's so distracted. He's trying to come out here with the crossbows. He's losing the crossbows in Lierey's base. Oh, no.
But Liereyy made an interesting decision there and dove. But he's pulling him back now. He's going for conversions. Lierey's going to get 1. He's going to get 2. He's got 4 mangonels. The DracKen's falling apart. Liereyy, 25 villagers behind. He's like, it's my turn to have a low eco push. Let's go. And DracKeN, he just can't seem to put a stop to this. Lierey's micro is so good now. How has he turned this into this type of situation where he has control again? Unbelievable.
I feel like DracKeN didn't pressure enough with the crossbows. You were talking about, like, players looking for damage because they feel like they need to against a better player. I think he should have.
Now you do it.
Gone in between those TCs.
Now you definitely do it as well, right? It's like every time he hops out, there's going to be conversions.
Camels from behind, too. Camels from behind, DracKeN. Those are the ones that were in Lierey's base.
Okay, Dave.
2 monks behind there. He's cleared up all of the mangonels. The crossbows are still here, and DracKeN cleans this up, it looks like. Oh, my God.
And this time, it might actually end the game. Like, this fight was everything for Liereyy. He's invested so many resources into it. I don't know if he'll be able to come back again. He still doesn't have... I mean, the TC's dealing with the crossbows, I guess. But that hurt. He does leave the fight with quite a few knights. And actually, surprising number of knights.
He still has monks left over. He could have more camels here in a second.
No
DracKeN
way.
lets him, and he does. He gives him 2 more.
What? You know what I just realized? That's disastrous for DracKeN, and that's why after this fight he's still behind. He can't produce out of his ranges because they're right between the army.
They're right there.
Yeah, they're right there.
He's trying to, and he's lost all of his forward pressure there. So Liereyy is still at 69 villagers, and DracKeN was at 96 there for a second, so that was nice.
Oh, man. Using the market heavily here is DracKeN. You can see his gather point set towards the TC. Kind of funny because they're actually making it to the main group.
Where does Liereyy go with this castle?
Apparently, he's going to build it next to the stables because that's where his vills are. Because he feels like he needs to deny the gold. That's a bit of a weird spot. Normally, you want your castle to go where your push is. Also, where's DracKeN going with his villagers right now? I'm worried that he sent idols somewhere by mistake. Or no, this is intentional. Because he wants to win this fight?
He wants to soak the conversions? He wants to soak the conversions? He wants to soak the conversions? No, he doesn't. Oh. they seem so purposeful walking in there. I was convinced. Oh, he sends him back. He's coming in.
Yeah,
big attack rounds on the camels.
This is part of his thought process, but Lierey's going to drop a castle here. If Liereyy gets the castle here, this game might be over.
Oh, Liereyy just got so many conversions on the camels, too.
It's the siege.
DracKeN, he's YOLOing against this. He's trying to take out the siege with the villagers. The mangonels are now going after the crossbows. Good micro there from DracKeN initially. But Liereyy clears everything.
Wow. Oh, man, it looked like DracKeN had this game. But we said that if the game continues... It's more and more Arabia style, and okay, there's a castle.
Don't shoot your own castle.
Yeah, don't do that. Man, I love how
it was so close.
I love how Liereyy has turned this around with Monk Siege of all things. You know, like obviously fell behind, but maybe a small message to DracKeN, like, hey, I can do this too. I can see why you make these units. They're really strong, actually.
I understand the thought process there, sending the vills in from DracKeN. Because what he's tried, he's played a lot of arena games, and I think he was trying to soak the conversions.
Yeah.
And also, like, distract a little bit from the knights. He knows he has a vill lead over Liereyy, as he calls the GG there. What a great game. He was trying to just, like, distract him with the vills, maybe take out a mangonel along the way, and then take the fight with his other ones. But it gave him too many conversions. The crossbows couldn't really engage because the mangonels would have fired on them. And that's just a fantastic play from Liereyy. And what a game, dude. Honestly, what a game.
Without factoring in the healing aspect of the monks from Liereyy that game, he got 22 conversions. That is a lot of conversions. And there were many instances where he had weak units that he healed back up to 120 or I guess 130 HP. So, yeah, great game and also an amazing series. Game 1 was a bit of a bust and sloppy from both players. DracKeN had one of the craziest arena games you'll ever see in Game 2. And then Liereyy was 25 villagers behind and somehow turned this into a victory in Game 3. You know, disappointing for DracKeN, I'm sure, because he will be able to look and see how big of a lead he had here. I think, as you said, Dave, when he saw that Liereyy was just ignoring his army in his base and counterattacking, then you've got to maybe dive.
If he goes through those TCs right through the middle, there was a wood line there. And even if Liereyy walls like he did currently, it's a single palisade wall. You're through that in a second with the 20 crossbows you have. And there's nothing from Liereyy to defend that.
And
even his main army couldn't kill that crossbar army. That's why he sent it forward.
Yeah, and I think at the very least, though, like even if you go through and Liereyy then reacts by running away or jumping into TCs, what Liereyy can't do is he can't push as he did and focus on the front. So those are tricky situations in games. And again, those are instances that DracKeN doesn't encounter as much because of the types of maps he tends to play. But strategically, DracKeN's on point. He almost took a game from Liereyy on Arabia. He has now played Yo, and he has now played Liereyy, and he has 2 wins, which is not bad because the big 3 in Group B is MBL, Yo, and Liereyy. And I think if you can take a win against a win against Liereyy and Yo, you might be able to take a win against MBL, and you could certainly take 2 or possibly 3 against some of the other players in the group. So really promising signs for DracKeN as he put up a good fight in both of his sets. And I think for Liereyy,
he did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
Like he did exactly what he needed to do. Just 1 win against the favorites. That's all.
Yep. And then as far as Liereyy is concerned, I mean, similar story to some of the other big names. Little awkward, not quite as sharp as they can bring to the table. Wow, he actually collected 10,000 fewer resources here and won that game. Are you kidding me? What? I don't know if you still have it up, but 41,000 resources for DracKeN, 32 for Liereyy. Wow. Yeah. Crazy. But yeah, good series. I had fun with that.
I mean, you don't need to make camels when you can just convert every single camel that your opponent sends your way.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. and DracKeN made a lot of army that game, that's for sure. He just kept losing it to siege shots.
The conversions killed him, honestly. Like the rest of the elements of the fight, I think were fine for DracKeN on like the 4 different fights they took. But every single time he led off with free camel conversions jumping in. So
I forget all the aspects of the game. But I wonder what happens in this game is if instead of counterattacking, and obviously if he wouldn't have counterattacked, we would have been questioning it. I'd like that to be clear. But what if he just cleared up the siege workshop and the archery, the monasteries, and then just boomed? I wonder what happens there. I mean,
Liereyy? Just clearing them up?
No. If DracKeN, instead of counterattacking with everything, just clears up the middle and just booms towards him. I mean, it was the correct play to counterattack. He just needed to get more damage, I think.
I think like the problem is that like the siege workshop is it's tough, right? Because it's so close to your base.
I know.
That Liereyy has time to add siege behind that too and keep pushing.
And you don't want to give Liereyy time at home because his economy will be better. So I don't know. It's just a thought. But that was a really entertaining series. I'm glad it was because after the first game, I just thought it was going to be a dud. Apart from the scout not seeing a dock, there was really nothing of importance to talk about in game number 1. So